Hello friends, so back again. This is the moment of truth with my beautiful RLC Anna Balmores. And even though I saw a couple of new roots on right here, you could see a couple of white new roots. I did some research and it's kind of what I suspected. So it says here that the shriveled leaves, the leathery leaves, they indicate a lack of water to the plant tissue. So here's the thing. I upped my watering when it started to get really hot. Now, right now it's mid-July, July 10th. Actually, by the way, tomorrow my pergola arrives. Tomorrow it arrives. So the next step is building it and you know, kind of designing how I want it to look on the inside. But anyways, I just had to throw that in because I'm very, very excited. So according to the research, and by the way, my research, I just went to the American Orchid Society website, and there's so much information there. You can read forever and ever and ever. So basically, if the roots are not white or green or plump, which only that little bit looks white and green and plump, the rest I can't really see them. But what it says is that it means that they're not taking up water. Underwatering is what you can first suspect. But here's the problem. I'm not underwatering. So the next step would be to understand why your plant is not taking up, why the roots are not taking up the water that you're providing it. So that's the next step. Why this plant is not taking in through the roots the water that I am offering to it. So because it's obviously not getting anywhere. The pseudobulbs are wrinkled and soft. That's not good. They're like mushy. So we're gonna do this deplanting. It also says that the first thing that you can do is make sure that you provide enough humidity. So, but it doesn't tell you exactly how to do that. So I saw from a video that someone had posted, and also a grower that I purchased from told me that one of the things you can do is spray the floor. So take your hose and kind of wet the floor, and that creates, you know, the evaporation, and that adds more humidity. If not, go out and buy a humidifier or whatever. So I haven't bought a humidifier because I just ordered something else that one of my awesome viewers commented that I need to be paying attention to. And they told me that I need to look into the pH because, and I had heard also from Rick L Orchids or whatever that I follow, that no matter how awesome you're doing with the fertilizing, if you're not paying attention to the pH, or if it's not in the right pH, the plant might possibly not absorb those nutrients. That's a big problem. That's huge. So my viewer said that's more important than the other thingamabob that I had purchased, which was that little stick that tells me the moisture or whatever, because you could, I guess, stick your finger and see or whatever. Okay, right. But I ordered, of course. I want to make sure that I'm, you know, doing the right things for the orchids. And besides, we're talking about, it was Prime Day, and that little, it's a little stick like this, and I'll show you, I'll do another video when I get it and how I will learn to use it and all that. I'll teach everybody everything I've learned. But basically, yeah, that's supposed to tell you the pH, and the pH will, and then, you know, in turn determine whether or not your plant's going to absorb the nutrients. So there's no point in fertilizing if it's not going to absorb the nutrients because of you having the wrong pH. So I started to learn a little bit. That is like a whole other chemistry class that I wasn't ready for just now. But in any case, what we're going to do today is I'm going to take this out of the pot and we're going to look at the roots together and see. And hopefully you guys can comment and tell me. So I had tied her down because I had heard that a loosey-goosey orchid is just as good as a dead orchid. And it was like a saying that someone in Spanish had said. It sounded a lot more poetic in Spanish. But Yeah, see, now I'm thinking she's gonna fall out of here, but she's not. Do I take her out? Yes, I'm gonna take her out because I know she's not doing well. Okay. Wow, here I am thinking that she's gonna have all these roots. No, it was just because she was tied. Okay, wow, that's a whole lot for a whole not so lot plant. Okay, so I'm looking at a whole mess of completely dried up roots. Is this focusing? Let me see. Is it too close? Well, here's the good news. The good news is that I see a new growth right here and another new growth right here. That's the good news. The bad news is that so many of the roots are no good. So I have disinfected my little pruning shears, and I think I'm going to cut some, but I feel like, wow, I'm going to be cutting all this. There's not much here. Should I soak them? I don't know what I should do. I mean, these are not even in development anymore. They are just completely like just the string. And when I got them, they weren't much longer. And I remember the woman had said, just give them a little trim and pot them up. Give them a little trim, pot them up. But my gut now is telling me that these need to be rehydrated because I am trimming and there is nothing. I'm not getting to any live root. It's just dead. Everything's dead. So guys, I'm going to trim a little bit. And then I think I'm going to put hydrogen peroxide. I'm going to put hydrogen peroxide. And then, see, this little growth has a new little root with it. So I don't even know if I should just try to take it apart. It looks like it, oh my gosh. I didn't even mean to do that. Hi. But, oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm going to keep trimming. I don't find anything alive here, but I'm going to trim a little bit, try to clean it up, like all of these that have this dried up thing. I'm going to try to find some fresh green live something, roots or something, because right now it's not looking good. Am I going to give up? Am I going to give up? No. Say no. Say no. She's not going to give up.
No.
No. No, I'm not going to give up. Thank you guys for listening, and I will keep you posted. This is my plan. After I clean them up, I'm going to put them in a little bit of water. I'm going to see if there's any rehydration.
Mom, can I put them in?
Yes, you're going to put them in for me. I'm going to see if there's any rehydration that can possibly happen here. I'm going to try my best.
Can I do that
But
for
these
you?
look like good roots. But what was at the end of this, completely gone. Completely gone. So, I will update. Now it seems like I have two plants. Seems like I have two plants in that one. Thank you guys for joining me. Just what I suspected. Not good, but there's good too, because there's some new roots. They're not gonna like that. They're not gonna like that. Say sorry, guys. Okay, I'll keep you posted. Thank you guys for watching. Hello again. So this was my Cattleya that was not doing well in my plastic pot with a lot of aeration. Apparently, I'm learning that this was just too big. I'm thinking that's what it was. It was too big. And also, when I bought her, they had told me to trim down the roots, and I was very cautiously trimming. I guess I didn't trim enough, but there was a lot of root damage. And now, maybe I should have done this from the start, but some viewers had told me that putting her in water for a little bit is going to help. So that's what I am trying to do. She's very wrinkled. So I found these cups, and there's a couple new growths. So that was very good news for me, both of them. And she kind of fell apart when I took her out. Like, she almost fell apart in my hands. So there's three new growths, and I'm excited to see what that could mean. So there's one there, and this one has a bigger one right there. So you could see that on this side we have a lot of new roots growing. This one has a few. So I will keep you posted. Let's see if this water culture works. I guess we can call it that for now. And eventually I plan to buy a mount and either put her on a mount or put her in clay pot, because that's usually what does well for me. So mount or clay pot, what will it be? And a couple of videos ago, I was shocked to find this plant that's actually 3 plants that my mom had kind of found in her garden. And she put them together in this basket with some bark and sphagnum moss. These 2 look great. I mean, they look so much better. The leaves look very healthy. The roots are growing. Now this one that looks awful is gonna bloom. So you know how you hear that sometimes the bloom is like the last ditch effort to survive or procreate or whatever. And by the looks of the leaves, I need some help here, because these leaves didn't look like this before. So I mean, they're soft-ish. I had put a rhizome holder to offer her more stability, but I mean, this is good to see, but these leaves look awful, and these pseudobulbs don't look great either. But she's gonna bloom, so I don't understand it. I mean, I could see new growth on the other side, but if this has some kind of a disease, I hope I'm not contaminating all of them by keeping them together. But like everyone says, if you have a plant that's gonna bloom, do not mess with it, because it could, the bud could blast. So I'm gonna let her bloom. It seems like it's gonna be soon. And then I'll keep you posted. Hopefully some comments can help me out and tell me what they think this is. What should I do? I mean, this looks like it had a hole, and then around it started rotting. So I hope it's just something like that, that it got chewed up and then it started to, maybe it had some kind of insect, and then the leaves are just not surviving, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, so that's my other what's wrong with my orchid story. I'm trying to walk around and show you all the problematic orchids, which there's a lot, but there's also a lot of healthy, blooming, growing orchids that completely make my day. And something that I saw the other day that I thought was so cute, that's happening with a couple of my orchids. They're kind of close to each other, but what I do notice is that it's almost like, I was telling my husband, I go, it looks like they try to hold hands. And this is one example right here. This is my is that my gold? Yeah, my golden to bloom. It's spiking. It's one of my favorites because of the scent. And then you see this. Don't look at the mess from the pool, but look what happens. I thought this is adorable, and this is not the first time. And then I untangle them, and then I see them like that again. I see them trying to get together, and it's so funny. And of course, they're just plants, but do they, you know, reach out and connect to each other? I mean, there's a lot that get entangled, and I separate them every day and they end up together. Anyways, that's enough of my plant talk for today. Thank you guys for joining me. I hope you guys can help me and enlighten me with your comments, and hopefully I can figure out what's going on with some of these orchids.